Hi guys, Trevor Cutie here, live from SpineWise. Hope you guys had an amazing summer and things are going really well for you. You had an incredible start to the year. Today I want to give you one quick little test you can see to see whether you are at risk of Parkinson's disease in the future. We know it's an issue, we know it's growing, and there is actually something you might be able to do about it if you have a family history for it and you might be a bit concerned about it. Before I get to that, also want to talk to you about the mechanism behind this, because there is a little bit of confusion about Parkinson's, but what we know about Parkinson's is that there is an area in the middle of the brain called your basal ganglia that tends to get very affected during Parkinson's. And this thing is actually stimulated by an area called your midbrain through what's known as your striatal pathways. Hey, if you're jumping in, say hi. Hey Zoe, great to see you. Thanks for tuning in. The striatal pathways tend to stimulate basal ganglia, and basal ganglia is really about movement and movement functions, and it's a really big source of infection too for a lot of people. It really knocks it about, and there's some growing research on the effects of infection on all our neurodegenerative diseases, including MS and Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and these kind of things. But it's a brand new kind of research area that it's slowly growing. But what we do know is that if we have changes in our midbrain, these people tend to be at greater risk for Parkinson's in the future. It doesn't mean they will develop it, but a greater risk. So if we assess the midbrain, it can give us some insight as to whether or not you may potentially be at risk and whether you need to worry about it in the future or not. So here's the little test you can do. It's really simple. You don't need any tools, you don't need any knowledge. It's really simple. Your midbrain controls vertical eye movements, tracking, amongst a whole lot of other things. So it looks after light and sound and stuff like this as well, processing. So people with midbrain dysfunction tend to get light sensitive, they tend to get sound sensitive. These are also people that tend to be predisposed to migraines and to some forms of seizures. So it's a very important area of the brain. So we can use visual eye tracking as a means to work out whether potentially or not you may be having problems with your midbrain. It's very easy to do. So what we'll do, I'll just grab Rob here. So Rob's my senior practitioner that works here with me. He's an amazing guy and does a lot of the structural stuff. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to use Rob to show you what needs to, a little test you can do to work this out. Just take a step forward for me. All right, so what I'm going to do is look at Rob's eyes, and all I'm going to do is put my finger about 30 or 40 centimeters in front. I'm going to look at my finger, and we're just going to slowly move up and move down. And what we want to see is that he has good ability to track my finger without jumping. So this is what we call a pursuit mechanism, the slow movement of the eyes. Okay, so what we're looking for is, does his eyes move like this, or do they jump? Do they go bang, 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 which are what we call saccades. So we're going to go straight up, straight down, and then we're going to go down right and down left. When we go down left, we can see we've got a little bit of a jump through that area, and down right as well. It's the up and down one that really is very important to us. Okay, so that's a quick little test you can do to assess to see whether or not your midbrain might be dysfunctional. There's a whole heap of things that go with that. If you've got migraines, you've got sleeping issues, we've spoken about sleep issues before, this is another test you can use. You combine this with your light reflexes that we spoke about a few weeks ago to give you a better idea with all that. But what we do understand is that people who are at risk of Parkinson's tend to have issues with vertical tracking, they tend to suffer with constipation, and they tend to suffer with shoulder problems at a young age. And this basically becomes because that midbrain is wound up, and as it gets wound up, it drives your sympathetic system, which tends to affect your gut, and it also tends to affect hemispheric balance, which can affect your shoulder muscles as well and predispose you to shoulder problems. So if you are having issues with vertical tracking in your eyes, really important one, just comment below help, and we'll get some information to you on things that you can do already to help yourself out and try and get that under control. Or otherwise, if you don't want to do that, just personal message me. I'm always happy. We're happy to help you out in any way we possibly can. Have a fantastic day, guys. Catch you later.